Hello and welcome back to the 5th year of Holy Jolly Christmas House. Let's just get that out of the way. Holy Jolly Christmas House Part 5, 2021, by me. I made this. And I made this slideshow so we could review previous years. First of all, we had, in 2015, just a normal, regular house. We see the fruits on the roof, snowman outside holding a heart just for you. A family is all together inside their house. There's a sidewalk going in, going out. You could just stroll on through. It's peaceful times for everybody, and we all loved it. Trees aplenty. And then the next year, I went all out on lavish decorations, and it was beautiful. And I did the icing on the roof, and there's foursquare in the back for the kids to play, and that ivy is my favorite part. Comment with your favorite part, and subscribe. And then on the side, war is brewing, because the Christmas giants are back, and they've thrown the kids into the Christmas dimension, and they're asleep because of that. But then, the bad Christmas giant was winning. So as a result, in 2017, unrelated, my mom got me the gingerbread house kit from Trader Joe's, which had all the weird textures on it, and kids that weren't even part of it, and all of the pieces slotted into predetermined set spots. So I got a little more creative with that. And we had the forest with all of the Christmas minions, which are not normal funny minions, and they were in the forest, and it was bad. And so the scientists, they were barricaded in the Christmas Dimension Research Institute, and they were working on finding a cure. Whoop! And you can see that there's all of the Christmas kids who are being tested on and trying to find a way to bring them back from the Christmas dimension. And we used the Christmas energies with decorations to keep the minions outside so that they wouldn't notice. So things were looking good, but 2 whole years passed. And then, I'm sure you all remember last year, when I took things up a notch and I purchased the Gingerbread Village kit from Safeway, which comes with 5 whole different buildings and a whole bunch of building materials, but not enough of the jellies. And as we'll see this year, that remained to be the case. And I'm sure I don't even need to explain everything that was going on here, because you could just watch the last video. It was really good. And it's like, you should already know what's happening here. Come on. We're all experts here. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. This year's CRIMMIS House. Let's take a look, shall we? But first, of course, we have to get the review portion out of the way. So here is the first item. That's right, I purchased more than one gingerbread product for this year, and I don't know anything about Wilton. Mom says it's a good brand or something. I don't know. This is a pickup truck, and let me tell you, it was not nearly as easy as they make it out to be on the box to put all of this together. And it comes with this stuff, everything you see here. The fondant, I'll get to later, is not exactly the sort of shining little orb that you see here. It was like a squished weird rectangle. So I sawed it in half to make the tires, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Get out of here. Then the second thing is the gingerbread house kit, also from Safeway, which has all of the candies that we know and love, like the little balls and these new lights, as well as the jellies, which, again, there's just so many of these on the box, there's not that many inside of the box. But it is ready to build, and it does make one house, so that part is accurate. I also didn't mention the presence of 5 large gumballs. I didn't really know what to do with these, because you can't really put it on top of a house very easily, or like on the walls. It also has the pre-made icing. Unlike last year's Troubles, I was able to use it pretty easily by just kneading the package, and it didn't squirt out the sides and make a mess, so that was nice. Also, this easy build tray. which I similarly didn't use because who needs that? Amateur constructors, am I right? Okay, that's it. We're gonna take a look at what I've constructed. Oh yeah, and there's a third thing of gingerbread that I'll get to later when it's relevant. So first we open on the truck. We can see that they've hit a snag as they were coming back from objective that they were doing. We see our Christmas champions in the car. They seem to be very interested in something of great significance, but I don't know what it is. Guess I'll just have to explain later. And they're surveying the damage. It looks like this tire has been clean busted out, and they're trying to figure out how to reattach it to the car because they crashed into this very beautiful Christmas tree. What a lovely tree. It's even got some of that fondant on the bottom because I had some extra. So you see I had to sort of shape it into circles and then affix it to the side, but it was a bit rough. The truck itself, I think, came out alright, but after everything was successfully glued together on the second attempt, after I'd shaved down the sides of the pieces and just used a whole bunch of red icing, I was very scared about putting stuff down onto it with downward force. But it survived the construction after I let it sit for about an hour, so that was good. Anyway, these guys have encountered some road troubles, which an ordinary year wouldn't be so bad, except that this year they're carrying precious cargo, and they had a whole long way to go. You see, this road is avoiding all of the beautiful natural plant life, and it goes all the way around here, and then does a loop, which is very fun, and then it continues along to the house. And you can see the house there is very beautiful. The decorations on the front, I used some of the candy canes from last year. Shh, don't tell anyone. They're still good. They're candy canes. They'll last forever. And I used some of the jellies to cut them in half and put them on the sides. And some more of the Christmas lights, as you can see there. One of our clear operatives of the Christmas champions is guarding the door because inside we've got some very important business meeting going on between some of the leaders. And who are these guys? If I can focus the camera right. It's also at a weird angle. They're candy corns. But candy corns aren't people, are they? They are. They're part of a different faction called the Givers of Thanks. And the Givers of Thanks are an autumnal sect. And this is a very interesting political alliance because you see, all of the Christmas decorations are what help the Christmas champions go unnoticed by the Christmas minions. But obviously, if you're from the Givers, then you're going to draw attention to yourself because you're not Christmas themed. But it's worth it for the extra manpower in order to protect the front lines. And as you can see, the Givers of Thanks are already putting in a lot of good work. They've got these, I forgot to look up what they're called, but they're like, you know, ramparts. They're like sharpened sticks. You want to go running into that on a battlefield. And so they're protecting that. And one of them is even within range to go see what's going on with the car troubles. And then meanwhile over here, in the middle of the road, a very tactically advantageous position, we've got a few scouts, which are the chocolate ones. And they're scouting from a little tower, and they've got their pumpkins at the ready. Some say that the pumpkins are bombs. Anyway, the gumballs, I didn't know what to do with them, so they're kind of like bushes. You can imagine them as bushes or trees, because I couldn't find Peeps trees anywhere for some reason in stores. I also couldn't find pretzel snaps, which would have been a pretty fun building material. Maybe that's an idea for next year. So I think that's it for this house. I've already gone over most of the decorations, including this side wall. And now, what's this? These guys seem to be at the end of the road and they're guarding something. Watch out, there's a guy right there. They're gonna handle him no problem. But what could they be guarding? This is it. This is the biggest feat of candy engineering that has ever been conceived of or happened ever in the history of little candy people. This is how they're going to win the war, even at a terrible cost of unleashing this thing upon the world. This is, basically, since the good giant has gone missing, they decided that they would just build their own in order to counter the dark one. And it comes with a wide array of abilities and cool powers. So let's just start at the head and work our way down. Number 1 is Epic Vision, and even a Scouter so that it can see the enemy's power, and other cybernetic stuff like that. All of these little red wire circuitries are still exposed, showing that this is not quite ready for prime time yet. But don't worry, the green engineers and the yellow doctors are working together because this is kind of a biomedical thing if you think about it, and it's pretty engineering heavy. Anyway, these chompers are made to slice through candy as if it was paper and not candy. This is exactly where the missing piece is, which if we scan all the way back over the battlefield, this is what they need to deliver it in order to get the robo-giant working. They need to plop it right there in the heart, because that piece is concentrated with all of the joy and merriment of a good Christmas year. And that's going to keep this monstrosity from, being evil and doing robot stuff instead of being a good guy. So this engineer and some technicians are still working on ironing out the kinks. It's also wearing fun lederhosen, which you can see in the green. That's about it for this guy. You can see that some doctors are taking a nap in the back, and there are supervisors all around, making sure that the building goes smoothly. Fortunately, the Givers of Thanks have erected even more defensive measures around the sides. There's a nice little symbol of their alliance. It's the Christmas tree next to a pumpkin, just to show that we're all on the same team when it comes to fighting Christmas mischief. And you can see that even more of these spiky doodads are here, along with some guys, and this magnificent tower made out of the more savory components, which the Givers of Thanks can bring to the battle. We can see that there's some guys on top who are looking out over the battle, except for this foot soldier, who is understandably distracted by the scene before him. It's quite a lot to think about. But while they were looking outwards, they didn't even notice that there's an incursion behind them. These gummy worms seem to have noticed an error in the wall, so they're quickly going around it, and they're going to invade the secret plans. Uh-oh. But these guys have reason to be looking outwards, which is... dun dun dun. The Dark One approaches with a whole fleet of Christmas minions and Christmas creatures, and it's gonna be a big, epic battle. So that's about it for this year, folks. We hope that the Givers of Thanks... Oh, let me cue the music. We hope that the Givers of Thanks and the good guys will be able to fend off the bad Christmas creatures and the minions, as well as the Dark One who's back for revenge. We don't know if he knows about the secret plans of unleashing this robo-giant upon the world, but if he does, he's not going to be happy. And are they going to be able to fix their pickup truck in time and get the heart back to the robot so that it... Oh, my music stopped. Alright, bye everyone, see you next year!